Hello YouTube, Sam here from youtube.com/onlivegamer for the new Boston. And in this tutorial we're going to be taking a look at a more in-depth look at array lists. Now I did this in the last tutorial and this is going to be a continuation of that. So what we're going to be talking about in this is removing stuff from array lists and maybe something else if we have time for that. So let's go ahead and add some more items to our array list. So my array list dot add, we'll add 20, we'll add a couple strings, and we will add, we can even add a boolean. So my array list dot add true, okay. So now that we've got some more stuff added to our array list, we can go ahead and run this and you can see that it will print them out for us. So now what we can do is we can remove items from our array list. So let's just do this right before everything is printed out on the list box. So we'll type my array list, and then when we use dot, it gives us a whole bunch of functions and subs that we can use. So what we're going to use is we're going to use remove. So what this says is removes the first occurrence of a specific objects from the system.collections.ArrayList. So what this means is whatever you type in, it's going to remove that. So if I type in true, it's going to remove the first occurrence of true, which is at index here's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at index 5, it's going to remove true. Now at index 6 or 7, if we add true again, this will stay inside of our array list, and this one will be taken out because, as you saw, it said it removes the first occurrence of it. So if we type my array list dot remove true, we can go ahead and run this, and you can see that if we click display array list, everything is here except we're missing the true that was somewhere right in here. But you can see that the last true is still there because it removes the first occurrence. Now what we can also do is we can remove at. So instead of remove, we remove at, and it says removes the element at the specific index. So inside of our arguments, we're going to use the index of the place in our array list, or the item. So let's just remove hello, and that's going to be at index of 1 because they always start with 0. So if we remove 1, or remove at the index of 1, and click display array list, we got 10, and then you can see hello is gone, and then everything else is still there. Now here's one thing that I would have covered in the last tutorial, but I didn't want to confuse you guys just yet. So if we come up here, let's just declare an array. So private my array, and we'll just leave that empty as array, or not as array. We want it to be a string, and then we will just populate this array. So we'll type Sam, and then so we'll just add this stuff right here. And so now we have an array that has 3 items at 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now, what if we want to add all of the items of this array to our array list? We could use a for loop, but there is an easier way to do this. We can just type my array list dot add range, and you can see it says adds the elements of a system.collections.iCollection to the end of the array list. So it'll just add all of the stuff in my array to our array list. So if we type add range and then my array, or what it's going to do is it's going to add all of these 3 strings to the end of our array list. So let's go ahead and run this, and you'll see how this works. So we'll go ahead and click display array list, and you can see that adds Sam, OnLiveGamer, and YouTube because we used add range, and it adds each of the items in our array list. So in this tutorial we looked at removing items from an array list by using their name, and removing them at certain index, and we also learned how to add all of the items of an array to an array list. So practice that a little bit, and once you got that down, move on to the next tutorial, and thanks for watching, guys.